Have you ever been to a high school football game? Well, imagine that you are. A player gets tackled and doesn't get up. Who should be the first one on the scene to help him? The parents or the coaches? Or someone else maybe? Well, in the scenario given above, the number one person who should have been first on the scene and in attendance at that game is the athletic trainer. I'm sure that many of you have been in attendance at a game where a player has been injured, or even played sports in high school. Surprisingly, not many people, when asked, know if their school has an athletic trainer or who they are. As a senior athletic training student, I have learned that only 42% of high schools in the United States have athletic trainers. My hope is that one day, every high school has an athletic trainer, but in order for that to happen, people need to understand the importance of having an athletic trainer, the risks of not having one, and how to get athletic trainers into the high school setting. There are a lot of people out there who have no clue who an athletic trainer is or what they do. So in order to support them, people must know who they are. Now, according to the National Athletic Trainers Association, athletic training is a practice profession by athletic trainers, healthcare professionals who collaborate with physicians to optimize activity and participation of the patients and clients. Athletic training encompasses the prevention, diagnosis, and intervention of emergency, acute, and chronic medical conditions involving impairment, functional limitations, and disabilities. Prevention is one of the number one things athletic trainers work towards. Prevention involves multiple different things. One of the key components of prevention is the pre-participation exam, or physical, that every athlete has to go through in order to participate in that sport prior to their season starting. This can clear them of cardiac, it can clear them of anything. Also, another important key of prevention is educating the athlete on how to do proper movements, how to play their sport properly so that they avoid injury. One of the other key components is rehabilitation. We treat many different injuries and illness that get our players back to their sport as soon as possible. And we also work directly under the supervision of a doctor, so we can refer them at any time if needed. Now that we know the importance of having an athletic trainer, it is now of great importance to understand the risks of not having an athletic trainer on site at a high school. When the presence of an athletic trainer is absent, who should take charge? Should it be the coaches? Should it be the parents? Should it be school officials? Coaches, parents, and school officials are not always properly educated in CPR or other first aid. So schools also need to have an emergency action plan, but not many people know where those plans are located or what they even are to follow in the event of an emergency. Another risk of not having an athletic trainer is the event of catastrophic injuries, which is anything that can result in death, paralysis, or permanent damage of daily living. These can also present with lawsuits against the school, which can make the school go into a great debt by not having the money to cover this. But if they would have just hired an athletic trainer, this lawsuit could have been avoided. Now that the risks of not having an athletic trainer have been discussed, how should one go about lobbying for athletic trainers in the high schools? Mom's Team is an organization consisting of moms that work with athletic trainers, lobbyists in DC, and physicians that all advocate the profession. They get laws passed in order to have athletic trainers in the high school and to prevent injuries that have happened to their children. Their goal is to have athletic trainers in every high school. They work with physicians who advocate athletic trainers, and they explain the risks of not having an athletic trainer in greater depth. Mom's Team is just one of the many organizations working towards this goal, and they have gotten some laws passed already, but we still need more people on our side. Now think back to the original scenario. Who should have been in attendance at that game? Who should be the first one on the scene and in charge? Having an athletic trainer at every high school will cut down on the risk of injury and leave parents and schools' minds at ease, knowing that their children and student athletes are in good hands. Please get out there today, find out if your area high school has an athletic trainer, vote yes on levies that involve school sports, and find out what you can do to help. Don't let your children be at a higher risk of injury when they play high school sports.